Okay, so we are going to create an obnoxious air horn app. It'll basically have a picture of an air horn and it'll have a button. When we press the button, the air horn picture will pop up. It'll play that obnoxious air horn sound, and then the picture will go away. It's really kind of basic, shouldn't be too difficult. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to start just here by clicking projects, and I'm going to start a new project. We'll call this project air horn and click OK. Now, with this air horn app, we're going to need to set up just a few things. First of all, in here, if you wanted to, I'm going to go ahead and center my horizontal just to keep everything sort of in the middle there. The background color, I'm going to default to white instead of the default, so I'm going to go there to white. Don't need a background image, none of this stuff. If you wanted to orient your screen landscape, you could, or use the sensor, you could, but I'm just going to keep it as portrait. That's how I'm going to lay this out. With the title screen, instead of calling it screen 1, I might call this air horn or something like that. And then that way, this screen 1 is going to change to air horn. Okay, whether you want that visible or not, you can always turn that off. You can also turn the status bar on and off if you didn't want to see, the battery life and stuff like that. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'll do here with my screen 1. Now, I'm going to need a button to put in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to layout and I'm going to grab a horizontal arrangement and put that in there. And with this one, we probably don't need to worry about these because they probably will align with the button. And especially since I've already centered it using the screen. So I can go to user interface, grab this button, put it inside right there. And then I can change this a little bit if I wanted to. So if I wanted the font size to be a little bit bigger, or if I wanted it to be bold, I could do that. I'm going to keep the height and the width automatic. I might do a rounded button just for looks like that. The text, I'm just going to type in air horn, I guess. Whatever, or you could put in here something like annoy someone, or whatever you want to do, right? Boom. So completely up to you what you want to do. I might actually change the color of my button to red, really just to kind of let people know that this is going to be really annoying. And the font color, we might change that to white so it pops just a little bit more. We want it visible. We want the behavior enabled. So you kind of decide what you want to do here. And then I'm going to go ahead and also drag out an image and put it down below right there. I'm going to rename this image air horn so that it's good to go. And then we're also going to need a sound. So we're going to go to media and we're going to come out here. We're going to grab sound and put this in here. And we'll rename, and notice that the sound came in down at the bottom. You can't actually see it in your app, or on your screen, I should say. You won't be able to see it. So we're going to rename this sound air horn sound and click OK on that. And then the last thing we're going to need is we're going to need an actual timer to go in here. And see if I can remember where it is. I think it might actually be in sensors. So if I go to sensors, it is this clock. This is what we want. I'm going to drag this out. It's also a non-visible component, so I won't see it. I'll leave it named as clock 1, and that's all good. Now, I need actual images and sounds to go here. So what I'm going to do, and the thing you have to be careful of here is if you don't create your own work, you just go to Google and download an image of an air horn or download a sound effect, you could potentially get sued if you try to sell this app. So to make sure that I have everything that is mine, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Canva. And hopefully you've got an account. You should be able to sign in with your CFA email account, and you should have access to the EDU version, which gives you more stuff to work with. So pause the video, create an account if you have to. Otherwise, go ahead and log into your account, and then you're going to click on Create a Design. I'm going to do a custom size, and I'm going to do, instead of pixels here, inches, and we'll just do like 5 by 5, create that design. Over here in Elements, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to type in air horn. My caps lock is on. And now I can see all the different air horns that I have available to me. Basically, you're just going to find one that you like. Notice that anything with these little EDUs I can use with my school account, but a person who is doing the free account won't be able to use. So completely up to you which one you want to do. I'm not a fan of a lot of them, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm going to use this one right here. Drag that out there. Go ahead and size it the way that you want to size it. And then once I kind of have this ready, I'm going to go to share. And I'm going to come down here to download and just the PNG. Now I'm going to save myself some time, click on transparent background. I don't know if it's going to let me do this and hit download. And so there it is right there. It'll be good for me to use in just a second. We can always use a background remover to remove that background if we have to, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because we have the white background. Okay, so now we've got our image ready. We can go ahead and with our media, we'll just click upload file, choose the file. There is our air horn. We'll click open there and hit OK. Okay, so now we're going to take this air horn image and we are going to say, let's grab the picture, untitled design. I should have renamed that, but it's okay. We'll assign that, and you can see it's way too big. So with the height and width, we don't want those to be automatic anymore. We want the width to fill the parent. Click OK. Actually, that's even going to be too big. So let's go ahead and do this as a percent, maybe call it 50%. Let's see if we can get it in there. And then do the same thing with the height, percent. Make that 50%. Hit OK. And so there's our air horn image right there. You can tweak the size as you want to make it look like whatever you're going for. But now we also need to get a sound effect. So same thing, we're going to create a new tab. I'm going to type in royalty free sound effects. Okay, so I'm going to use Pixabay. And in Pixabay, I'm going to look for an air horn sound. So I'm just going to type in air horn. Oh, we got some to choose from. So you can click here to preview it. That's obnoxious. I hate it. That's obnoxious. I hate it. But this is only one while this is many. I'm going to go with just the one. So I'm going to go ahead and download this. Close that because you can see it downloaded for me. Go back to App Inventor, and I can go to that upload file right here and choose the file, and there's the air horn right there. Just click open on that, click OK. Okay, we have our air horn sound, our source. We're going to click on that, and we're going to use the air horn sound right there. You can leave that minimum interval at 500. We might change that. We'll see if that's something that we want to mess around with. But for right now, we've got our air horn image, our button one. We can rename this button play sound so that we know what it is. Click OK on that. And that's sort of the layout that I'm going to go with for right now. Feel free to tweak your layout as you want. But now let's go ahead and do some basic programming so that this is good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my blocks. And we are going to do this. We've got our play horn, our play sound right button, right? So play sound, we're going to do when play sound is clicked. So I click on that and bring this out. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to be able to see our image. So if I go back to the designer, what I can do is if I click on the air horn image, I can say don't be visible at the start by just clicking on this and making it go away. And then in my blocks, I can now go to the air horn image. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find set air horn visible. So it's right here, set air horn visible. And I'm going to want that to be true. Now, something that you might not know, I can just type the word true like this, and it will give me that little true thing right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So now we can see our air horn, okay? And then we are going to basically, we're going to call air horn stop. So you notice I started typing in call air, and I could do call air horn stop. That way, if the air horn was already playing, it'll cut off, and so we'll get that kind of thing going on. Now we can do call air horn play. So call air horn, and there's sound play. So now we can get it to actually play. We want this image to disappear, but if I were to just put it down here, it would disappear right away. Like you almost wouldn't even see it. So I needed to wait just a little bit, and that's why we brought in the clock. Now, if I go back to my designer and I click on my clock, this is my time interval in milliseconds. So basically, this means that the timer is going to be set for 1 second. We probably need a little bit more time than that, so I might make it more like 3,000 milliseconds, so it's like 3 seconds. I'm going to go back to blocks here, and we're going to go ahead on clock 1, scroll up here, when clock timer. So when this goes off, what do we want it to do? We want to set the air horn visible back to false. So I can type in set air horn, and there it is right there, visible. I can bring that in, and then I can type in false, and I can get a false statement and bring that in there just like that. So basically now we should be ready to go. I can click on connect and get my AI companion out, and I can open that up on my phone. Can't see that right now, but maybe I'll take a video of it so you can see. But basically now what I can do is open up my app companion, scan that code or that QR, and this is going to now download to my phone. And what I should be able to do is on my screen, I hit the annoy button. And there's my app. So that's all you have to do to get your air horn app. As I said, go back in the designer. You can fancy this up a little bit if you need to turn this image back on so that you can see it. You can click on that scale to fit, see if that works for you. You can drop this into a horizontal arrangement and see if that can get you sized the way you want. But otherwise, once you're ready, go ahead and show me your app and turn it in, and you are good to go.